Hi guys, Miss Curry here. I just wanted to quickly talk about some of the things coming up this week. Most importantly, I wanted to kind of put some fears to rest, so to speak, and give you a little more information about the business presentation. So this week is a pretty light week. You have your chapter 15 mind tap or Cengage that you're used to having. And then you also have your APA final draft that's due. Hopefully you've looked at the feedback that I've given. You can check both the marks that I made by going to view feedback. Also, I put a video up for each of you there in the comments that you could listen to, that I kind of talked through those things that need to be fixed. And so once you make those adjustments, you're ready to submit the final draft here. I did put that deadline out. You're used to having a deadline of Tuesday. I moved it out a couple extra days, and it's actually not due until the 29th, which is that Friday. Many of you will not need that time, but for a couple that may need it, or for those that might want to jump in and start working ahead on this business presentation, you can do that. So the chapter 15 and the final draft after making corrections to the rough draft. That leaves just this one of three left, which is the team assignment 14.15. This is where you're going to, as a team, select whatever topic you want. You can see there is a big selection there. And I would just say, there's none that I favor. You don't have to say, well, this one sounds a little more academic. I'm fine with any of these topics. I would just go with whatever jumps out at you to be easily divided or something that you have a lot of enthusiasm about. That's what I would pick. And then you're going to simply have one person from each team. Typically that's the team captain, but only one person needs to submit a text entry box telling me what topic you've chosen. How do you plan on getting together? So are you still utilizing email between each other? Are you doing group discussions? Are you doing Zoom calls? Are you meeting on campus somewhere because you're on campus anyway? How are you planning on meeting to talk about the presentation? And then it says plan for division of team duties, and then also a rough outline. So I don't really need the full rough outline. You could kind of combine these two into one, where you could just simply say, okay, you know, Betty, she's going to do the first three slides, the first slide being the title slide, and then the first two are going to be about business casual dress attire. I think that's like one of the topics that you can do. And then John, he's going to take the next three slides, and all three of those are going to be about formal business attire. And then the last three are going to be with Janet, and she's going to do this topic, and then we'll have a reference slide at the end. So really that's all I need. And then two resources that you have found that you know are going to help you with information on this. So that's all I need this week. Nobody, please don't feel like you have to turn in the presentation this week. That's not going to be due until the last week of class. I actually have not even published the due date for that. I think it tentatively right now is scheduled for August 5th, but I need to take a look at that because I'm actually, your last week I've not published yet because I'm considering taking at least one assignment off just to try to get you guys to the end of the semester a little bit easier. But I will know that for sure, hopefully by Friday. So an 8 to 10 minute presentation that you're going to do with an 8 plus slide presentation that's going to be between 5 and 7 minutes. It actually says 8 to 10, but I think I've already changed it on the other one. So I'll change that now as we're talking. The other thing that you need to be aware of is that everyone has to participate in, and when I say that, I mean everyone has to be a part of creating the presentation, but everyone has to do an oral part of the presentation. In other words, you know, when we're dividing this up, whatever slides you do, that is going to mean that you're going to also need to do the audio for that. Now I have a lot of different groups do it a lot of different ways, and some people have throughout the last few semesters said, hey, what about this? We're going to try this. I've had students do a Zoom call that they recorded where they shared screens and took turns with each other, and they recorded that and sent it to me. I've had groups that have gotten together at the college, and they've actually just done the presentation and recorded it and then uploaded it to YouTube and then sent me a link to YouTube, to that on YouTube. I have students that just embed a video file on each slide, and it's the person that created the slide doing their presentation of that slide. And then I've also had them where they just embed an audio file. Any of those are acceptable. And again, just keep it, within, we're thinking, maybe 8 slides, which is not a lot because that's a title slide and a reference slide at the end, which leaves you with basically 6 slides that you have to do. And so we're presenting mostly on those 6 slides, and we're going to try to do that in 5 to 7 minutes. So hopefully, talking about it a little bit has kind of calmed some of those fears. But all I need from you this week is telling me what topic you are and what your plans are. Again, like I said, I've not published the final draft, but right now I had it scheduled for August the 5th. I will let you take a little peek at that real quick, just to show you every team member must present, must have 8+ slides. Presentation should be between 5 and 7 minutes. So hopefully that's helped. It gives you a little bit more information about what's happening this week for sure, and then what's to come in a couple weeks, because we are winding down. We are in those last 2 weeks of class. And like I said, I will do my best by Friday to publish what's left. Next week there's a chance, this is why it's not published, that one of these may come off. And then that last week, turning in that team presentation, there's going to be a team evaluation that you get to do to give feedback about how your team members did. And then a really cool interview assignment that goes very quickly. It's a cool way to just kind of give some feedback on what you think of someone's performance. So that's where we're at. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to reach out and let me know.